Moving on with the next topic of traversing a list. So, in the previous video, I explained you about basic of a list, how we can define and declare a list and add values to it, and the elements, how you can index the element, and how lists are mutable, meaning we can reassign the values in a list, and the usage of the in operator in a list we looked into. Also we looked into few sample programs. Also the next topic is how do we traverse a list. So generally any traversing will happen with the help of any looping construct. So with the help of a for loop you can traverse across a list, and this is the syntax. For is the keyword, and here cheese and cheeses are being specified here. So it can be considered as cheeses is a list, and cheese is the variable name which you will be traversing across through the list, and then each of the element is being printed here. These examples I will consider in the next following video, and I'll show you how we can traverse across a list. And now the next example shows how we can use the range and the length function. So here this what does this example do is it says for I in the range of length of numbers. So numbers here is nothing but the list name here. So it returns the total number of elements in the list, and we are traversing across the list for so many values or the elements, and numbers of I index for each I is equal to numbers of I into 2. So it is that you are basically multiplying, and it is like if your list has 3 elements, you are multiplying and you are adding another 3 elements. So 3 into 2 6. So totally you are say muting, or you are changing, or you are reassigning it to total 6 elements. I'll execute and I'll show this example. Next is about the list operation. So the list operation shows how we can use the concatenation operator, and we can concatenate two lists here. So there's one list called A here which has 3 values 1, 2, 3. There's another list called B which has 3 values 4, 5 and 6. So now we can concatenate A and B using the concatenation operator and create another new list called C. So when you print C here, you get the concatenated values, that is 1, 2, 3 of list A and 4, 5, 6 of list B. So this is also possible. And in the same way, if you want to say like repeat the values in the list, you can use the multiplication, that is the asterisk operator, the multiplication operator, and specify the number of times it has to be repeated. So here they have taken it as 4, here they have taken it as 3, and here instead of giving 1, 2, 3 that is the elements, you can also specify it as A into 3. So here A is nothing but the name of the list. So the values will be repeated 3 times here. So any such repetition which needs to be done, you can easily do it just by using your multiplication operator when you want to repeat the elements in the set of your list. And next is the slicing operation. This slicing we have already understood in the concept of strings. So the same thing works here well also, works here well with list also. So assuming if there's a list called as T with these values, with these characters here A, B, C, D, E and F. So if I'm applying this slicing here, that is T1 to 3. So it means that you are applying slicing from B, that is B to 3. So 3 means, it means from 1 to 3 minus 1 2. So 1 and 2 you will be retrieving B and C. So slicing works in the same way. When you want to just retrieve a part of the list, or when you want to retrieve any selected part of the list, you can use the slicing. And whichever way, we know that when we don't give your initial index, it means that it considers from the beginning of the list, it considers. And Similarly, in this case, when you don't give the ending index, it means that from the third index up till the last element. So it means 0, 1, 2, 3 from D onwards up till the last element, which is F. Here it prints D, E and F. And similarly, this also we saw in the strings concept. When you are not specifying your index, that is the starting and the ending index, if you are not specifying, it just assumes that from the beginning till the end all the elements must be printed. So in this way we can use our slicing concept even in the list when you want to perform any kind of selection and retrieval of any part of the elements within the list. And coming to the list methods, we can apply few methods on the list concept. So what are those methods? First is the append method. So append on the list object. So our list is T. I have there's a list here which has three elements A, B, C, and T dot append of D just adds the fourth value D to your list. So when I say T dot append of D, and when I try to print this T, previously it was A, B, C, now it is A, B, C and D. So this is one method, that is the append method, and the next is the extend method. So this extend method, there are two lists here, that is ABC is a list T1 and DE is the list T2. Now when I use T1, the first list dot extend of T2, my T2 list will change, will remain unchanged, but I am basically modifying the list T1, that is I am extending the list T1 by T2. So it is something like concatenating T1 with T2. So my final value will be after applying T1 dot extend T2. If we are trying to print T1, we get ABC, the list 1, plus list 2, that is DE. And if you try to print T2, it remains DE only. It remains unchanged. And similarly, you can use the sort function. So on the same similar type of elements, you need to apply your sort function or the sort method. So if I have a list TCEBA, I can apply T dot sort, and I can try, if I try to print it, it gives me the sorted list. You can apply it on all the numbers, that is the integers, or on the floating point values also. So this is another method.